Hello, my dear students of Standard 9. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear students, we are talking about Chapter 4, Periodic Table. Dear students, last class we had learnt 4 periodic properties, where we had learnt the periodic change of the properties: melting point, boiling point, metallic property, non-metallic property, and atomic radius. Today, in this class, we will learn 3 properties: ionization energy, electron affinity, and electronegativity. All the properties are known to you. So, at first, we have to know about the properties. At first, ionization energy. What is ionization energy? Dear students, ionization energy is the minimum amount of energy required to remove 1 mole electron from the outermost orbit of 1 mole of gaseous atom and make it 1 mole of unipositive ion. That means when 1 mole of electron is removed from an atom and make it 1 mole of unipositive ion from its gaseous condition, then the amount of energy that is needed is called ionization energy. Here look, X is an element, X is an atom of an element, and this is its gaseous condition, and you have to make it unipositive ion. How will you make it unipositive ion? By removing 1 electron, and to remove this electron, you have to give some energy. By applying energy, X atom will remove 1 electron. This amount of energy is called ionization energy. This amount of energy is called ionization energy. The energy that is needed to remove 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom to make 1 mole of unipositive ion. Now here look, sodium, after removing 1 mole of electron from sodium, at first you have to make it gaseous condition. Then sodium will make sodium ion, and the energy that is needed to remove 1 mole electron is called ionization energy, and the ionization energy of sodium is 496 kilojoule per mole. Dear students, here the energy that is positive, because the energy here you have to apply the energy that is needed. You will not get the energy. You have to apply the energy. You know, there are 2 types of change. One is exothermic and another is endothermic. In exothermic process, the energy is produced, and in endothermic process, the energy is needed. The energy is absorbed by the process, and when the energy is absorbed, then the value of energy is positive, and the energy that is produced, this value of energy is negative. This is exothermic process. Ionization energy, it is endothermic energy, endothermic process. So it is plus 496 kilojoule per mole. Endothermic process and exothermic process you will learn in detail in next chapter 7, chemical reaction chapter. Then it will be more clear to you. Just now you have to remember that here the energy is applied, energy is to be given. So here the energy is positive. In the same way, when 1 electron is removed from potassium, here will be potassium ion K+. So when 1 electron is removed from potassium, then 419 kilojoule energy is needed. So the ionization potential energy of potassium is 419 kilojoule per mole. In the same way, when 1 electron is removed from magnesium, dear students, look, usually magnesium makes dipositive ion Mg2+, but here you have to remove only 1 electron. So magnesium will make monopositive ion, unipositive ion magnesium plus. And to remove one electron from magnesium atom, from the gaseous form of magnesium atom, you need to apply 738 kilojoule energy. So the ionization energy of magnesium is 738 kilojoule per mole. This is ionization energy. Now we will read the change of ionization energy in period and group. So at first, group relation. Dear students, at first you have to think one thing. Ionization energy, electron affinity, electronegativity, all they depend on the atomic radius. Dear students, look, if the atomic radius is more, then the attraction of valence shell and nucleus is less. So to remove one electron from the last shell, comparatively less energy is applied because the attraction of this electron to the nucleus is less here. And if the atomic radius is less, then the attraction of valence shell or valence electron with nucleus is more, then you have to apply more energy to detach one electron. So ionization energy, it depends on atomic radius. When atomic radius is more, ionization energy is less. When atomic radius is less, ionization energy is more. There are some exceptions, but this exception we will not read in this class. This exception we will read in higher classes. Just gradual change we will read here. So group relation, that means in the same group, you have remembered that in the same group from top to bottom, atomic radius gradually increases. That means in the same group, ionization energy will be decreased from top to bottom, because atomic radius, when it is more, then ionization energy will become less. So in the same group, ionization energy gradually decreases from top to bottom. Look here, ionization energy means to remove one electron from the outer shell, and you know the electrons are here for the attraction of this nucleus. So to remove one electron, you have to apply energy. This energy is called ionization energy. And when atomic radius is more, then this ionization energy will be less, because here the attraction is less. But if the if the atomic radius is less, then the valence electron is strongly attracted by the nucleus. So you have to apply more energy to detach one electron from the last shell of the atom. So in the same group, with increase of atomic number, atomic radius is also increased from top to bottom. Last class we had learnt this. As a result, the attraction between nucleus and valence electron is decreased. I told it. So to remove one electron from the last shell, comparatively less energy is needed from top to bottom. So the ionization energy gradually decreases in the same group from top to bottom. So if we consider first group, then the ionization energy of hydrogen is the highest and the ionization energy of francium is the least. There is no deviation or no exception, because hydrogen, it has the least atomic radius, so ionization energy is the most here, and francium, it has the highest atomic radius, so ionization energy is the least here. Now period relation. In the same period, we learned that in the same period from left to right, atomic radius gradually decreases. Okay, so when atomic radius gradually decreases, then ionization energy obviously gradually increases. In the same period, generally ionization energy gradually increases from left to right. Look, ionization energy gradually increases in the same period and gradually decreases in the same group. Why in the same period ionization energy gradually increases? Because in the same period, with increase of atomic number, atomic radius is decreased from left to right, just opposite of group relation. As a result, the attraction between nucleus and valence electron is also increased because radius is less here. So to remove one electron from the last shell, comparatively more energy is needed from left to right. So the ionization energy gradually increases in the same period from left to right. Dear students, there are some deviation, there are some exception, but in this junior class we will not learn the exception. We will learn this exception in our higher classes. In the second period, lithium has the least ionization energy and neon has the highest ionization energy. I am telling again, lithium has the least ionization energy. That means it is not that boron, then after lithium, then boron, then beryllium, then carbon, then nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, gradually it increases. No, there are some exception. I am telling again, but you have no need to learn this here. Just you will remember that ionization energy gradually increases in the same period and ionization energy gradually decreases in the same group. Now our another periodic property, that is electron affinity. Like ionization energy, electron affinity also you have to clearly understand. What is electron affinity? Ionization energy is the energy that is needed to remove one electron. This energy is called ionization energy, the energy that you have to apply. But electron affinity is the energy that is released by the atom. The student, I told that exothermic and endothermic process. Electron affinity, here the atom releases energy. So this energy is negative value because here atom releases energy. You will get the energy. You will not apply the energy. Why you will get the energy? Because you will add one electron with the atom. The electron is added in the atom and atom will give you energy. In ionization energy, you remove one electron from the atom, so you have to apply energy. But in electron affinity, electron is added on the valence shell of the atom and atom will release energy. This amount of energy is called electron affinity. So what is electron affinity? The amount of energy released by an atom of an element when 1 mole of electron is added to 1 mole of gaseous atom to make it 1 mole of gaseous uninegative ion is called the electron affinity of that element. Here also the amount of energy, but the amount of energy that is released by an atom when 1 mole of electron is added to 1 mole of gaseous atom to make it uninegative ion is called electron affinity. Here look, X is an atom. It is its gaseous condition and 1 electron is added with X. So X turns to negative ion, uninegative ion, and energy is also released from here. This amount of energy is called electron affinity. Here, when fluorine, 1 electron is added with fluorine, fluorine becomes fluoride ion, uninegative ion, and the electron affinity of fluorine is 328 kilojoule per mole. It is negative value. Why it is negative value? Because this energy you get from the atom. So it is an exothermic process, and for exothermic process energy is negative value. That means not that it is the electron affinity of fluorine is minus 328 kilojoule per mole. The electron affinity of fluorine is 328 kilojoule per mole. But here this minus sign indicates that the energy is released by the atom, and the positive sign for the ionization energy indicates that the energy is applied, energy is absorbed by the atom. When 1 electron is added with chlorine, then chlorine becomes uninegative ion Cl minus, and the electron affinity of chlorine is 349 kilojoule per mole. It is also minus because here energy is released. When one electron is added with magnesium, magnesium becomes uninegative ion Mg minus. Here electron affinity is 0. Why here electron affinity is 0? Because magnesium has no need to accept electron. Magnesium doesn't want electron, but you will give the electron to magnesium. So magnesium will not give you any energy because here the electron is not needed for magnesium, but you give the electron for magnesium. Here electron affinity of magnesium is 0. That means electron affinity of magnesium is very less. And it is for the inert gas. Look here, here this is neon, but for all the inert gas, when you will give one electron to inert gas, you know that inert gas doesn't release or accept any electron. Inert gases have no need to release or accept any electron. But if you want to make neon uninegative ion, then its electron affinity is greater than 0. That means neon will not give you any energy. Rather, you have to apply 29 kilojoule energy to add one electron with neon. That means it doesn't mean that the electron affinity of neon is more than magnesium. The electron affinity of magnesium is 0, but the electron affinity of neon is 29. That means the electron affinity of neon is less than magnesium, and all the inert gases have less electron affinity, very, very less electron affinity. Now, the periodic change of electron affinity. Like ionization energy, electron affinity also depends on atomic radius. When atomic radius is more, then the distance between valence shell and nucleus is also more. So, the electron is added on the valence shell. It gets, that means it the nucleus attracts less the incoming electron because here the distance is more. So the energy is released less here. Dear student, I am telling again, when the atomic radius is more, then the incoming electron gets less attraction with nucleus. So the energy released by the atom is also less. So when atomic radius is more, electron affinity is less, and when atomic radius is less, electron affinity is more. So the change of electron affinity is also opposite of atomic radius. In the same group, atomic radius gradually increases from top to bottom. So in the same group, electron affinity gradually decreases from top to bottom. In the same group, electron affinity gradually decreases from top to bottom low. When an electron is added to a neutral atom, energy is either given up or absorbed, measured. Most of the time, energy is given, but for the inert gas, energy is absorbed. Now, why in the same group, electron affinity gradually increases from top to bottom? In the same group, with increase of atomic number, atomic radius is also increased from top to bottom. As a result, the attraction of nucleus with incoming electron is decreased. When radius is more, then the incoming electron gets less attraction. So, to add one electron on the last shell, comparatively less energy is released from top to bottom. So, the electron affinity gradually decreases in the same group from top to bottom. That means hydrogen has the highest electron affinity and gradually it decreases, and francium has the least electron affinity in first group. Now, period relation. In the same period, generally electron affinity gradually increases from left to right, because in the same period atomic radius gradually increases from in the same period atomic radius gradually decreases from left to right, so electron affinity gradually increases from left to right in the same period. That means in the same period, electron affinity gradually increases, and in the same group, electron affinity gradually decreases. That means here increases from bottom to top. That means it decreases from top to bottom. Here also, like ionization energy, in the same period, there are some deviation for the electron affinity that we will learn in higher classes. In the same period, same case like group relation, with increase of atomic number, atomic radius is decreased from left to right. As a result, the attraction of nucleus with incoming electron is increased. So to add one electron on the last shell, comparatively more energy is released from left to right. When nucleus attracts the electron more, then atom will release more energy. So the electron affinity gradually increases in the same period from left to right. In the second period, lithium has the least electron affinity and fluorine has the highest electron affinity. Dear students, for electron affinity, inert gas will not be counted because the electron affinity of inert gas is very, very less. Here also there are some deviation. That means lithium has the least electron affinity and fluorine has the highest electron affinity. But it is not that after lithium there is beryllium, then boron, then carbon. That is not. There are some deviation. But you will learn in this way that electron affinity gradually increases from left to right in the same period. Here we will learn one exception that is very important for you. We learned that in the same group, electron affinity gradually decreases from top to bottom. So, if we consider group 17, that means it should be electron affinity of fluorine is the highest, then chlorine, then bromine, then iodine, because electron affinity gradually decreases from top to bottom. But there is an exception for fluorine and chlorine. Electron affinity of chlorine is more than fluorine. That means the electron affinity for the elements of group 17 will be chlorine has the highest electron affinity, then fluorine, then bromine, and then iodine. Not only this, there are total 118 elements in the periodic table, and chlorine has the highest electron affinity among all the elements in the periodic table. Chlorine has the highest electron affinity. But the electron affinity of chlorine is more than fluorine. Chlorine has the highest electron affinity among all atoms. This exception also you will learn in higher classes, but there just you will remember this, that in group 17 there is one exception, that is the electron affinity of fluorine is not the highest, the electron affinity of chlorine is the highest. So for the 17th group, the order of electron affinity will be fluorine, chlorine, then bromine, then iodine. Fluorine has electron affinity, but chlorine is more than fluorine and it is also more than bromine. So chlorine has the highest electron affinity in the 17th group. Now our last periodic property, that is electron negativity. What is electron negativity? To understand electron negativity, you have to understand the covalent bond, because electron negativity is related to covalent bond, but covalent bond you didn't learn. So just I will give some idea about electronegativity. That is, look, this is covalent bond. This is covalent bond. In covalent bond, two atoms share their electron. Two atoms share their unpaired electron, and by sharing the electron, two atoms are bonded. But in ionic bond, what happened? In ionic bond, one atom gives its last electron and another atom accepts it. But for covalent bond, there are sharing of electron. Look, this is water. In water, hydrogen has 1 electron and oxygen has total 6 electrons on its outer shell. Oxygen and hydrogen share their electrons like this way. Oxygen 1 and hydrogen 1. They shared the electrons, and now these 2 electrons belong to hydrogen and oxygen both. These are called shared pair of electron. This shared pair of electron you will learn in chapter 5 in details. Now, what is electronegativity? The relative tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electron of a covalent molecule towards itself is called the electronegativity. What is electronegativity? The relative tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electron of a covalent molecule towards itself is called electronegativity. This is shared pair of electron. Both atoms attract this shared pair of electron, and this tendency is called electronegativity. Both atoms want to get this shared pair of electron, and this tendency is called electronegativity. Now, group relation. In the same group, electronegativity gradually decreases from top to bottom. Like ionization energy and electron affinity, electronegativity also depends on atomic radius. And when atomic radius is more, electronegativity is less, and when atomic radius is less, electronegativity is more. Because here also, when atomic radius is more, then the distance between nucleus and valence shell is more. So nucleus attracts the shared pair electron less, and when atomic radius is less, then the distance between nucleus and valence shell is less, and the nucleus attracts the shared pair electron more. So in the same group, electronegativity gradually decreases from top to bottom. This is the change of electronegativity. In the same group, electronegativity gradually decreases, and in the same period, electronegativity gradually increases. Because in the same period, atomic radius gradually decreases, so electronegativity gradually increases. And in the same group, atomic radius gradually increases, so electronegativity gradually decreases. Now, in the same group, with increase of atomic number, atomic radius is also increased from top to bottom. As a result, the attraction of nucleus with shared pair electron is decreased. So, the electronegativity gradually decreases in the same group from top to bottom. For group 1, electronegativity of hydrogen is the most, then lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium has the least electronegativity. And for group 17, fluorine has the highest electronegativity and iodine has the least electronegativity. Dear student, there is no deviation. Actually, fluorine has the highest electronegativity among all the 118 elements. Here also, inert gas will not be counted. We learned that chlorine has the highest electron affinity in the periodic table, and fluorine has the highest electronegativity in the periodic table. Now, period relation. In the same period, atomic radius gradually decreases, so electronegativity gradually increases from left to right. In the same period, with increase of atomic number, radius is decreased from left to right. As a result, the attraction of nucleus with shared pair electron is increased. So the electronegativity gradually increases in the same period from left to right. This is for the second period. Electronegativity of lithium is the least, then gradually it increases, and fluorine has the highest electronegativity. Dear students, this is the chart of electronegativity of different elements. This electronegativity we need for the next chapter, because these when two atoms make bond, then there are different types of bond. Actually, ionic bond and covalent bond, and this type of bond depend on the difference of their electronegativity. So when we will read chapter 5, we will learn this. Dear students, today after this, electronegativity difference at just one time I will tell you that this again you will learn in your chapter 5. Look, when two atoms make bond, this is the bond of two bromine atom. Both their electronegativity is same. So the difference of electronegativity is 0. So when the difference of electronegativity is from 0 to 1.4, then they are pure, 0 to 0. Less than 0.5, then they are called pure covalent compound. Here the electronegativity difference is 0, so these are called pure covalent compound. Here the electronegativity difference of carbon and hydrogen, carbon is 2.4 and hydrogen is 2.1, carbon is 2.5 and hydrogen is 2.1, so difference is 0.4, and these are called non-polar covalent compound. When the electronegativity difference of two atoms are 0.5 to 1.4, they are called polar covalent compound, like water, hydrochloric acid. Here hydrochloric acid, the electronegativity difference hydrogen 2.1 and chlorine 3. So the difference is 0.9. So the compound is polar covalent. And when the difference is greater than 1.7, then the compound is called ionic compound, like sodium chloride, potassium bromide, etc. Look, these are pure covalent or non-polar compound. These are polar covalent compound, and this is ionic compound. We will learn all this in chapter 5. So dear students, today up to this, goodbye everyone. Thanks to all.